Wow, what a podcast. What an action-packed show it was today.
We had stacks of things. A flight from Sydney to Tokyo, a Qantas flight. The in-flight entertainment went rogue and everyone suddenly found themselves watching the same movie, an R-rated film. What do you do?
Also, That's Entertainment with Emma Gillespie. She swung by.
Yeah, she's talking about new evidence for the Menendez brothers that's come about since a recent biopic on them.
Noni Hazelhurst.
She was there. I don't remember her being in that Menendez brothers film, but she's been in everything
She would have been
else.
able to play both parts.
Absolutely, she would have. We put leaving school in year 10 to the pub test.
Jessica Power. I like finding out what happened to former Married at First Sight contestants. Some might say asking GoFundMe to fund your late father's funeral is a bit much, especially when they're walking around with a Louis Vuitton bag.
And boasting about how much they get on OnlyFans. Maybe only fan. It's just only one.
Just one fan.
Also, lost in translation. That's what the tribal drum is beating for.
Everybody online.
Right now, by the miracle of recording, we had so many requests for them to do it again.
Mistress Amanda.
Miss Keller. Amanda.
Doesn't work alone.
Wow, this is fantastic.
Her friend is in a back room making the tools of the trade.
I've heard them describe him as a drunken idiot.
Sorry, I've been drinking beer.
The legendary pirate Jonesy and Amanda the actress.
Hello, Wiggles. Congratulations, Mandy. We're on the radio right now.
Jonesy and Amanda, you're doing a great job.
You have no empathy for anyone but yourself, you giant tool.
Now's the time to hear good radio. Sorry, a bit of a tongue twist there. Jonesy and Amanda are here. It's showtime, a-holes. We're on the air.
Well, hello there, Amanda. How are you today?
I'm looking out the window here and it's dark.
It is.
That's
It's
that old daylight savings.
certainly ruined my time-lapse game for this morning.
What's going to happen with your time lapse?
Well, it's all dark and just a reflection of me doing rat face while I try to adjust my camera.
And just other things. Just scrunch down to try and
Scratching me
fix the
bum.
camera. You're not going to get to the point, are you, where during the show, like from 7 o'clock, you're trying to do your time lapse? Because it takes you ages and you pull faces and you talk about it and you can't spend the time during the show doing it. I
The
forbid you.
people have spoken. 82% of the people want to see the time-lapse game continue. So I have to respect what the people want, okay? Your people who didn't want it, meaning you and Ryan. Good morning, Gemma Rye.
Hey.
You guys didn't want it, but people...
So you're going to do it the same time every day now?
Well, no, I'll do it, obviously, where it will reflect on the time of day where there's some sunlight in the city.
Okay. So you'll be absent for most of the show?
No, I'll be
Because you do it in an adjoining room. I'll be around. You do it in an adjoining room and it takes ages.
I might need to take some petty cash, though, just to get some more blue tack to hold my phone up.
Also, by then, people will be working in the office where you usually go and set it up. At this time of day, there's no one there.
Yeah, but, it's a good time to catch up with the sales department, talk to the girls, talk to the guys, all that sort of stuff.
While we're on air.
Yeah, just, that's what you do. That's what a radio station is. Did you have a great long weekend?
I did. How about you?
Great long weekend.
We'll talk about the footy later in the show.
Yeah.
Suddenly I was desperate for Panthers. Last week I was saying, four-peat, how boring. Now I was screaming for them to get their four-peat. I was so happy.
How do you feel about 5 in a row, though? I feel now, okay.
Yeah,
that's
now it's just showing off. But also, so many of that core team are finishing.
Yeah.
They've had their moment now.
Yeah.
Time to move over.
There was a moment there I was watching Jerome Luai just sitting on the field, just sucking it all in, just the enormity of a sports event like that, and he's going to the West Tigers next year. Yeah. So I guess he's sort of sitting there going, this will be, better get used to this. Because,
Used to sitting on the grass
after winning a grand final.
So not get used to, meaning...
Well, the West Tigers could come back next year, you don't know.
You don't know.
Could be all because of Jerome. But it would be hard to leave the show. Imagine if you were leaving this show to go and work over at Bumnuts FM.
Bumnuts FM called Time Lapse Radio.
Imagine that. Imagine your deal. You'd been approached by BNF FM and you're going over there and then you've left the success, the bosom of this, and then you're going over to there.
You've been reading my emails.
To start all over again. It would be, I'd miss you.
Yeah.
I'd probably time-lapse you from across the harbour.
I'd see the reflection of your bum crack. It'd be like seeing Batman in the sky. A special message.
What message is he sending to me today? Action-packed show, big announcement today. Big news.
Big announcement and announcement that will thrill you. because there's benefits.
Amanda is not going to Bum Nuts.
No,
FM.
I'm not. But it's an announcement with benefits. Am I right in saying
Yeah, you are. You're dead
it's not
right.
just an announcement you go, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
An announcement with benefits.
It's not a disappointing surprise. This is something that you will benefit from.
That's right. And Noni Hazelhurst is going to drop in.
Always
She's got a new
good to
memoir.
Her book just arrived on Friday. No one's read it yet. So I'm going to have to skim that during the show. Maybe I'll put my time lapse on it.
Look at the pictures.
We can't do anything until we do the Magnificent Seven.
Question 1. What kind of material would you whittle?
Jam Nation. Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation.
Podcast.
We have the Magnificent Seven for you. There are 7 questions. Can you go all the way and answer all 7 questions correctly? If you do that, Amanda will say,
Have you checked your time lapse? It's still as dark as when you first started.
I think it's going to be okay.
Are you going to... Okay.
I think, I'm not running out of any film in my phone. It's okay. It's going to be okay.
You're wasting film.
Jamie's in Spring Park.
Hey, Jamie.
Good morning, Amanda. Jonesy.
Jamie, question 1 for you. What kind of material would one whittle?
That'd be wood.
Whittle wood?
It's
Yes.
quite satisfying to do.
Have you whittled?
Oh, I was just doing it on the weekend inconsequentially. There was a bit of stick that I had to shave down to poke this thing into a pipe.
Well, everyone just makes a spear.
And then I started getting into it. I'm going, I can see what the old timers do.
That's right. Next thing, a very elaborate whale in a bottle appeared.
True or false? Whales sometimes fart, Jamie.
That'd be true.
Of course.
This is interesting information. The bubbles that whale flatulence generates are about the size of a watermelon. And apparently the odour has been described by observers as a combination of herring breath and the funk of rotten salad.
Oh, that'd be rank.
Rank.
Let's play the not-so-secret sound, Jamie.
Duh. What's this sound, Jamie?
Always look on the bright side of life.
Well, what's the sound? So this is the not-so-secret sound question.
Sorry, a flute.
No.
Well, that was a trick question. Shane is in Wilton.
Hello, Shane.
How are you guys?
Very well. Listen again to this. What's that sound?
That is a whistle.
It's a whistle.
whistling.
Brendan, you can whistle. You whistle like a budgie. Whistle, always look on the bright side of life. Makes your mouth go weird.
It does. And Digital Jenna will no doubt be using that. I can just feel it. What does the word egress mean, Shane?
Oh.
Egress.
Egress.
That is, I do know it. It's where liquid can come out of something.
No, I think that's osmosis, isn't it?
Egress, E-G-R-E-S-S for Googlers. What does egress mean?
There we have it. Question number 4 of the Magnificent Seven.
Jam Nation.
Phil and his drums. You imagine?
Well, he is a drummer.
He is a drummer, but he'd go, let's get some more drums in. Phil, why don't you just relax, okay? We've got enough
Give your
drum.
hands a
As
rest.
soon as you see bongos come on the stage, you think,
He doesn't play bongos.
I reckon Phil would play the bongos.
No, he doesn't play bongos.
Can I say this? Anyone can play the bongos.
Well, no one can play them well. A bongo sounds terrible.
Yeah, they're easy to play.
I know. You see some backpacker down at the beach and they're having the
play
time of their
bongo.
life. I remember, and when they're older, they say, I just used to sit on the beach and play bongos. You know, good on you.
Here's the thing, get a job, mate. Just go and get a job.
They're travellers.
I don't care. Go and do something else. Take your patchouli oil and your bongo.
Could you sound any older?
We're into the Magnificent Seven. What does the word egress mean?
This is going to John in Picton. Hello, John.
Good morning, Amanda. Jonesy.
Do you know what the word egress means?
Yeah, believe it means to exit.
To exit,
Yes.
correct.
I'll give you the background. Well, in the 1800s, P.T. Barnum noticed people were lingering too long at his American Museum exhibits. He didn't want them hanging around.
Right.
So he... Pardon?
No, I'm fascinated by
I
what
think
you
it said
say.
Ryan.
No, I said right.
So he posted signs indicating this way to the egress. People thought that egress was a new exhibit. It just meant this way to the exit.
So it's an eponym. An eponym is a word that comes from like a Bloody Mary or grog. Those words came from an actual thing, like that happened. Bloody Mary was Queen Mary.
He made it up.
No, but that's what I mean. Bloody Mary, the drink, was Queen Mary's favourite drink, but she was also, she'd lop your head off as soon as look at you. So it became known as a Bloody Mary. And the Grogram coat, there was a certain sea captain, he wore this coat, and he would restrict this seaman's petrol.
I have no idea what you are talking about.
That's an eponym. Look it up.
It's not.
No, this is an eponym.
It's not. He didn't come from that. I think it's just...
Because he made up the word, but I'm pretty sure that's...
No, the word was always been that, but people were fooled into thinking it was something interesting.
So egress was always around before P.T. Barnum?
Yes.
Okay.
So all that weird chat you've just had...
Sorry, I'm just trying to give information, you know.
I didn't follow any of it.
On other stations, they just talk about sex all the time. Sailors and the grog rations that they used to have, and this particular sea captain wore this heavy coat, called a Grogram coat, and then it became known as grog because he was always restricting their alcohol.
Let's get to question 5. Which celebrity chef is famous for saying things like, "My gran can do better and she's dead"?
I'm not sure, but Gordon Ramsay?
Yeah. That's him.
My gran could do better, and she's dead.
What plant is often used to provide relief for sunburn, John?
Aloe vera.
Hello, Vera. Which brings us to question 7.
Here it is, John.
John, are you ready?
All in.
It's about the derivation of the word grog. Who won the NRL Grand Final?
The Panthers.
What about that? The 4-peat. Congratulations to you, John. You've won the Jam Pack. You've got it all. A double pass to UB40.
Oh, wow.
Returning to Australia on their Red Red Wine Tour. Tickets on sale now from Ticketek. $150 to spend at Rock Salt Restaurant, serving delicious modern Australian cuisine in the Sutherland Shire.
Very
I've
nice.
been there. I love that place. And Jonesy demanded a character choice for you to colour in and some Staedtler pencils. John, maybe you can impart some of this knowledge that you've learnt today around the lunch table at work.
Oh, definitely, yeah. With the time-lapse camera.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, John.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation
Podcast. And we are up and running.
Ooh, I wonder what this concert announcement's going to be. I'll give you a clue. It's not UB40.
No.
We already know they're coming.
We've given the tickets away.
Yeah, but this concert, whoa.
Do you want to make more noises? Let's flick through the genres, that big book of musical facts. On this day in 1983, ZZ Top released their hit Sharp Dressed Man. Here's a riddle. What do you get if you mix Weezer and ZZ Top? Wheezy Top. On the Jimmy Kimmel Show in 2015, these two banded together to perform Sharp Dressed Man with a bit of a mashup. That sounds dreadful.
Where's Weezer?
Said no one.
I come from you like Island in the Sun.
They've made it less somehow.
What happened there?
They should have an album called Weezer Jolly Good Fellow. Let's go to the OG, shall we?
Yeah.
See you, Weezer.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation. I always like to report on the fortunes of former Married at First Sight contestants.
Well, you'll have to re-educate me because, as you know, I don't watch. So who are we going to be talking about?
Jessica Power?
I know
you
the
remember
name.
Jessica Power? She got married. She famously said that she didn't get breast implants. She got the fat from her bum put into her breasts. Okay? So you remember her?
No.
Okay, remember her brother, the hot tattooed neck guy?
Yeah, so at the wedding, people were going about how hot the brother was.
And the dad was there as well. So the dad, I think he had a neck tattoo as well. And they looked like a pretty menacing pair. Sadly, Jessica's dad passed away, which was sad. And Jessica, and this is what I've been following the story, she put on her Instagram, she made a really nice post to her late father, but at the same time, she set up a GoFundMe page to pay for the funeral.
I don't understand how this works. So when there's a GoFundMe when someone's passed away, it is to pay for funerals and stuff, is it? Yeah. So it's a little tone deaf because here's a woman that purports to make a lot of money on OnlyFans, and here she is not wanting to spend any of that money on his funeral.
Yeah, and particularly And a lot of people have said they've gone to town on her online. Sorry for your loss, but at what point do you and your brother think it's okay to promote a GoFundMe page when there are people who literally have no homes or food to eat, and you two always brag about the money that they make? And they do.
Right.
They all talk about how they're big ballers and they're making the money and they got the stuff.
It is unusual.
She was recently seen at the airport with a Louis Vuitton handbag and matching and a larger carry-on bag as well. And that's
expensive stuff.
$3,000 and you got $5,000 there. Even the cheapest funeral, if you got one of those biodegradable caskets, $5,000 is going to make a dent in that.
What that says to me, and I don't know these people, I hope I'm not speaking, ill, is that they don't want their money to go on the funeral.
No. And who does?
Who does? But that's how it goes.
Estate or something like that.
He obviously doesn't have any in his estate. The dad wasn't on OnlyFans, I'm assuming.
No,
so maybe there's no estate. So they're going to have to cough up the money.
Yeah.
Cough in the money.
Perhaps some of that fat.
It's a pun for you.
Yes, I know. Thank you. Perhaps some of that fat travelled further north to her head when she was getting
the bum fat.
The bum fat. It's just the bum fat. It's clouding my judgment.
When you're putting your life on socials like that, you are asking for people to give you their opinion about it. And you've got to be so careful about the inconsistencies of the message. Do you agree?
I agree. That's why I just stick to time lapses on social. No judgment there.
No, your bum fat's still in your bum.
I've got plenty to go round. Would you like some of my bum fat?
No, thank you. It's a competition. We'll give it away.
Jam Nation.
On a recent Qantas flight from Australia to Japan, passengers were left gobsmacked when an R-rated film played on every single screen due to a technical error.
Yeah.
The film is the one that's got Dakota Johnson and Sean Penn, and it's quite explicit. And every single screen had it on.
And there's some saucy texts in there as well.
Saucy texts. And one shocked passenger said there's no way to turn it off, floored by the racy nudity and obscene sexts that were displayed on each screen. Qantas has confirmed that this happened and stated that due to technical issues, individual movie selection was not available.
Yeah.
As a result, Qantas said that staffers have asked passengers what movie they'd like to watch, resulting in the movie Daddy-O being played on all.
That's the Sean Penn.
Remember the old days when every single person would watch one flight?
Yeah,
you'd
be
movie.
on the plane.
And you didn't have those screens in front of you. The screens hung down in the middle of the aisle.
Yeah.
And we all watched one film, a sanitised version of BJ and the Bear or something.
Well, that totally means a different thing these days, doesn't it?
Because I often wonder that when you're on a plane, and I'm always very conscious of what's on my screen. Because people who sit next to you can see it, people who sit behind you can see it. And lots of violent films and things get shown. You think,
and you can
that's
see a lot of saucy stuff in there.
Oh.
When I was young, my old man was an airline pilot. And
what would he watch?
While he was flying the plane. But my brother and I would go on the plane, but because you'd fly your staff travel or whatever, so you always had to be dressed up very well, because the old man said, Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones, he can wear what he wants because he's paying for the flight. But you boys have to be dressed up because you could get bumped up to first class. It didn't matter.
So what, would you wear a tie?
Yeah, I'd always be well-dressed, always well-dressed. And sometimes when I get on a plane now and my son or my kids come along and they're wearing a T-shirt, like a singlet, I go, okay, well, the golden end of flight ends there. But there's a certain amount of glad handling you would do because Dad was very popular with his mates, and you get on the plane, they go, the Jones boys are here.
Yeah.
Boys, you want to come up and have a look at the cockpit? And I'd seen the cockpit a fair bit as a kid, but you'd always, it was a PR role. You go, of course we would. And my brother, who's not as PR savvy as I was, he goes, no, I'm watching Fletch. I'm watching this movie.
Whereas you appreciated, you had,
we got to go up and
but means, though,
interested.
that you were having to be well-mannered constantly on a plane.
Yeah.
So you couldn't be watching anything R-rated.
No.
The Jones boys down the back.
The story of O.
What would our version of the R-rated ones have been in those days?
That would have been it. It would have been the story of O or Bilitus.
Bilitus.
And that would have been it.
Yeah.
And what was that? That was just Derek riding a horse naked.
No, it was David Hamilton. He made all those films, which was just girls in flowy white cheesecloth with Vaseline around the lens and then a little bit sort of bit of erotica.
Oh, gee.
Do you want to go to the cockpit?
These are the times in which we live.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation
Podcast.
Moving into the ground right now.
Who wants some free money?
Instant.
Coin, cash.
Moolah.
I like the sound of that.
Jonesy and Amanda's
Instagram.
Rock on. 10 questions, 60 seconds on the clock. You could pass if you don't know an answer. We'll come back to that question if time permits. You get all the questions right, $1,000.
You can make it $2,000 with one bonus question, but it is double or nothing.
A lot of questions. A lot of questions coming. Will of Hilltop, Sway.
Oh, wow.
Hi, Will.
Wow. Hi, how are you?
Very well. Wow. You're excited already, I can tell.
I am.
All right, we've got 10 questions, Will. We've got 60 seconds. We always say pass if you're not sure, because if you're wrong, it's all over
Yep.
Red Rover.
Yep, no worries.
All right, Will, let's begin.
Here we go.
Here we go. Question 1. A robin, a tit, and an owl are types of what?
Birds.
Question 2.
Birds?
Guy Sebastian was the first winner of which singing contest?
Pass.
Question 3. The Brownlow Medal is awarded in which sport?
NRL. AFL. Oh, my God.
And Guy Sebastian was the first winner of Australian Idol.
An Idol. Oh, I couldn't remember which one it was.
Oh,
Will.
Oh, I go Brownlow. Geez. Oh, God, I thought it was because of the rugby league, and bugger.
You've lost it early, Will. I'm sorry about that.
I know. Same. Oh,
Will.
dear.
Thank you for playing. $100 to begin
We could
with.
listen to you beat yourself up all morning, mate. But
Do it to your friends.
Will, she's a cruel mistress. The old head jam. What's the thing called?
Instagram. How many cruel mistresses do you have?
Anyway, commiserate with you, Will.
Jam Nation.
So I saw this reel yesterday. I won't say any more. Just have a listen to this.
I used to work as a student nurse at a hospital. I had this patient who had to stay overnight because he had a severe asthma attack. He had to wear an oxygen mask over his mouth and nose. My job was to give him a sponge bath, so I did. While I was giving him a sponge bath, he mumbled something from behind his mask. He said, "Nurse, are my testicles black?" I was a little bit embarrassed because I didn't know how to answer that question. He said, "Nurse, please check for me. Are my testicles black?" So I just gently raised his gown. I was holding his manhood in one hand and his testicles in my other hand. And then I said, "There is nothing wrong with them, sir. They look fine." He then slowly starts to pull off his oxygen mask. He said, "Thank you so much. That was wonderful. But listen very, very close." He said, "Are my test results back?"
I saw this other one. Someone had tweeted this. A man sits by me on a train. Man, loads of psychopaths around here. Me, really? Man, loads, mate. Me, how do you know? Man, there's signs, aren't there? Me, well, I guess. Man, I love them. 47 minutes of awkward silence ensue. Man leaves the train. He has a bike. I realise he was saying psychopaths.
Psychopaths.
Loads of psychopaths around here. Not psychopaths. I love them.
This just happened to me just last weekend. So, Sailor Jerry.
Yeah.
So he's, we're finished having our sailing day, and Helen and I were going out to dinner with some old neighbours of ours who are English. Jerry's English. And I said, "What are you doing tonight?" And he says, "I'm at home by myself." I said, "Well, why don't you come to dinner with us anyway?" Helen wasn't too pleased that I just invited Sailor Jerry at the last minute. And it was a great night, as it were. But the next day, we had some other friends around, and Helen was sort of going on about it a bit. I said, "Look, you weren't even put out." And then she's gone into this tirade. "How dare you?" So I'm going, what do you mean? And her friends, the Helen posse, "How dare you speak to her like that?" I'm going, "What are you talking about?" Talking about how much sex you put out. I'm going, I said, "You weren't even put out, not you won't even put out."
Oh.
She thought I was having a go.
So she thought you were saying in front of everyone, "You won't even put out."
Yeah.
She must have thought, where'd that come from, inconsequentially?
She had about 2 glasses of bitch diesel at that stage. So,
Right.
you don't want to mess with them when they're like that. And I said, "No, you weren't even put out." And it was a good night anyway, is what I was saying.
Right, rather than "you won't put out," it was a good night anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which didn't help my case in any way.
No, not even after the wine. Well, let's do this. The Tribal Drum is going to beat 4. Lost in translation.
Yeah, I like it.
He said, "Nurse, are my testicles black?"
Well, that's what she heard. In fact, what he said was,
"Are my test results back?"
Jam Nation. The tribal drum is beating Lost in Translation.
So, a student nurse thought she heard this.
He said, "Nurse, are my testicles black?"
In fact, he'd said this.
"Are my test results back?"
After she'd checked them to tell him that everything was fine.
Particularly nasty weather. It's got me into trouble many times. Margaret has joined us.
Hello, Margaret.
Good morning.
What was Lost in Translation?
So this was back in the late 70s when I went to get my driver's licence. I passed the driving part, and back in the day, I don't know how they do it now, but you go back into the office and the guy behind the counter asks you a few road questions, and if you get them all right, you pass. Anyway, one of the questions was, what do you do when you see an ambulance? And I said, well, you pull over a little bit and wait for it to go past. And he had a really strange look on his face, and he said, when you see an amber light. Oh. And I said, I thought you said ambulance. Oh. And I answered the question, and he passed. But yeah.
When you see an amber light.
What he heard was, what do you do when you see an amber light? And you said, you pull over to the side of the road.
Yeah. I know.
When you know that the answer is you gas it to get through.
Thanks, Margaret.
Donna's joined us.
Hello, Donna. What was Lost in Translation for you?
Hello, guys. Love your show.
Thank you, Donna.
I was in the supermarket one day, and I was in the cheese section, and this lady walked past with her daughter, and what I thought she said was my name, which was Donna Potter at the time, and I said, do you know me? And she said, no. And I said, well, you must do. I said, you just said my name. And she said, no, I don't know you. And I said, I'm sure I know your face, and I'm bloody hopeless. I know people, I don't know your name, but I know your face, you know. And she said, no, I don't think I do. And I said, well, how come you just said my name? And I said, I just don't understand. And she said, it's went on for like a minute or so, and her daughter's looking at her, and I'm looking at her, and we're having this conversation. She said, no, I was just telling my daughter that there's some blue ricotta. And I said, I thought you said my name. There's Donna Potter.
Oh, how embarrassing.
Gee.
Oh, how awkward.
I walked away looking at me very strangely.
Did you just go and sit in your car and want to peel your face off?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Mental in the dairy aisle.
Oh, Donna, that's terrible.
Well, that's what we got.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation
Podcast.
Something's wrong.
There's no sound.
Press a few of these buttons. I haven't switched it on. Oh, silly me.
Yeah, big concert announcement.
After 8 o'clock.
It's not UB40, okay, so just gird your loins.
Gird your loins, concert announcement, and something in it for you.
Yeah, something in it for you.
At the moment, the tribal drum is beating for Lost in Translation. We had a student nurse, and what she heard the patient say was this.
He said, nurse, are my testicles black?
So she checked them for him, but this is what he'd said.
Are my test results back?
It can happen.
It can happen. The tribal drum is beating for this. Michelle has joined us.
Hello, Michelle.
Good morning.
Hello. What was Lost in Translation?
So I had to take my daughter when she was younger for an X-ray. And the lady said to my daughter, hold your breath. My daughter thought she said, hold your breath. So my daughter was standing there with her hands over her boob.
Oh. and when did she realise that wasn't what was said?
When I was laughing.
So you just were along for the ride. Good on you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
Daniel has joined us.
Daniel, what did you miss here?
Yeah, good morning. We're having a family barbecue and we needed some extra seating. So my wife said, why don't we ring the friends up the road and get some extra seats? No problem. So I rang up, get a stack of chairs. And she said, no worries. She said, I'll call past and I'll drop them off. So she calls past. I run out the front to get the stack of chairs. And she hands through some secateurs, hedge cutters. So I just looked at her and I grabbed her and said, okay, thank you. And I walked inside and my wife said, what are you going to do with them? I said, I'm not sure.
Might trim the bush.
So you didn't want to confess that you'd misheard her, that she'd misheard you?
Yeah. A stack of chairs, secateurs.
Same thing.
Happen.
I feel sorry for the person who had to sit on them.
Thanks, Daniel. Bridget has joined us.
Hello, Bridget. What was Lost in Translation?
Hi, good morning. Okay, precursor. My mother, English is not her first language, so this happened quite some time ago. She was looking after my grandmother, and she ran into one of my grandmother's neighbours, and she said to my mum, oh, you know, how's your mother going, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. And my mum said, oh, you know, she's not doing too well, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. And anyway, Mum got home and she was relaying the story to us, and she said, I ran into one of Granny's neighbours, and she said she had the most horrified look on her face, and she said she couldn't get away from me fast enough. And I said, oh my God, what did you say? And she said, oh, well, she asked how Grandma was, and I was saying to her, you know, she's not doing so well, she's decomposing. And I said, what? And I said, what? And she said, yeah, I said she's decomposing, she's not doing very well. And I said, oh my God, Mum, you meant to say deteriorating.
Oh.
And I said, no wonder this woman couldn't get away from you fast enough. She's probably thinking in her head that our grandmother is dead in her bed, decomposing, and you're still looking after her.
Oh, like some crazy thing, like Bates Hotel.
Oh, yeah, psycho.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Bridget.
Thank you, Bridget. Thank you for all your calls.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation Podcast.
Let's get on down to the Jonesy and Amanda Rubs for the pub test. Today, leaving school in Year 10, does it pass the pub test?
Yeah, I saw this story in the paper this morning. The number of schools in New South Wales where a quarter of the Year 10 cohort leaves before Year 11 has doubled in the past decade. So 30% of students left school early, and that's up on what it has been over the previous years. So what they're thinking the reasons are is that financial pressure for families, that's really hard to keep a kid in school. The job market demand, people are looking for trades and career opportunities. Kids who aren't thriving at school may be able to thrive in the workplace. The arguments against are very interesting too, and the government's worried about this. They're saying that what it means is that students pursuing trades won't have the same earning capacity or flexibility over the years, that early leaving limits long-term career flexibility and earning potential. And the government is concerned about that. They're also saying that a lot of kids aren't mature enough to be making these big life decisions and to be working in adult environments, that needs to be taken into control. Maturity and development, which can change over the last 2 years of your schooling.
But you can make a lot of money being a tradie, you electrician,
that's
or
right.
a plumber or a builder.
That's right. But it's interesting that the government is trying to find new targets and negotiate new targets to keep more kids in school to Year 12. So the aim is they want more kids finishing school.
Yeah, they want them to finish school is because then they don't have high unemployment. So back in our day, back in the 80s, when everyone left school in Year 10, there was high unemployment because everyone was leaving school. Now, if you keep them in school and indeed they go to university and go on from there, they don't have to work. So it makes the government look good.
Is that why you think?
That's definitely why. That's because unemployment figures are going to be a lot lower because you don't have a bunch of kids on the streets looking for work.
But you'll have the same number of university graduates looking for work.
When they eventually get out of university, but still, look, I'm not saying it's a perfect science, but it would do, like for good politics, for a government to get in, because you look at the figures, you go, oh, okay, unemployment's really low, that's good. But that's because all the kids are still in school.
But this number has been, this is over the last decade that this number's been growing of kids leaving in Year 10.
Yeah.
So that's what these figures are doing. But education experts say that students who don't complete Year 12 may face a lifetime of lower earnings. But many parents know that their kids are just not going to thrive at school.
I don't know.
Well, this is what education experts are saying. But you're right. But the trades, eventually, there's money in them. But what when you're younger, maybe. Yep. And maybe it limits your opportunities. I don't know. I'm just reading the stats in front of me here.
You went to university, did high school, did Year 12, got 496 in your HSC. I unceremoniously left school in Year 10, and we're doing the same job.
Are we doing the same pay? We're not going to have that argument again, are we?
Pay parity.
Well, look, this is the debate. How do you feel? Because I know many parents feel that their kids are much better off out of the school system if it just doesn't suit them. Leaving school in Year 10, does it pass the pub test?
Jam Nation.
I demand entertainment. Are you not entertained?
Put on your dance pants and shoes.
Now give me your best shot.
The editor of the Daily Oz is here, Emma Gillespie. Hello.
Hello, hello. Well, there's a new show on Netflix everyone is talking about. 20 million people around the world have watched it, and it's inspired new evidence to be put forward in the case of the Menendez brothers.
Talk us through the case for those that don't know it.
So this is a story about two brothers from a very wealthy Beverly Hills family in 1989 who were found guilty of murdering their parents in their living room. So Lyle and Eric Menendez, they were 18 and 21 at the time. Their story goes that they went to the movies and they came home one night and their parents were shot, killed, massacred in their home. Now, they were eventually found guilty of their murder. The real story, or the story that we're supposed to believe according to the courts and the lawyers, is that they premeditated the murder of their parents. They shot them, they killed them. Now there is alleged...
For money?
To inherit the $14 million estate at the time. But also there's an argument that it was an act of self-defense because there was abuse in the home. The father was allegedly physically, emotionally, sexually abusive. And so that's a whole other part of this story. But it was a really high-profile, kind of very glamorous suburban family with this horrific thing that happened.
And the boys are in prison.
And the boys have been in prison since the 90s, yep.
Wow.
So there's this new show. It's called Monsters. It's a dramatisation of events. It's from Ryan Murphy, who also made the Jeffrey Dahmer show. He's known for doing a lot of these kind of dramatisations of these sort of
the Jeffrey Dahmer show. And he's the Jeffrey Dahmer
can't wait to see the cooking segment.
Yep, yucky. There's new evidence now that's been put forward. So as we often see with these stories, whether it's a doco, a podcast, a Netflix show, everyone becomes really, really interested in it, and it might open up new doors of inquiries. So we've got this letter that's apparently being reviewed as possible new evidence in the case. This was submitted to the LA District Attorney by Eric Menendez, one of the brothers, and the lawyers say that this letter corroborates allegations of sexual abuse by the father, Jose Menendez. Now, part of the kind of complicated factors involving the original defence with this case was that at the time the court didn't take the abuse allegations seriously, that they didn't consider that a self-defense murder might have been motivated by this alleged abuse because they didn't believe that the abuse had happened. Now Eric Menendez's lawyers are saying we can prove with this evidence, who knows what it really is.
Oh, so we don't know what the evidence is.
Well, it's a letter, so that's all we know, is it's some kind of letter that corroborates the abuse, and that they're saying that the court would be able to consider this as proof that there was motivation for a self-defense act, and that could see the boys get a reduced sentence or be released completely. Now, I say the boys, they're now both aged in their 50s. They've been
they're in their 50s. They're in their 50s.
Yes. And then enter Kim Kardashian to the story. I know what you're thinking. You can't have a Beverly Hills murder without Kim Kardashian having her say in this.
Because isn't she's studied law now, and she's sort of an advocate for people who've been misimprisoned, if that's a word.
Yes.
Wrongly imprisoned.
She's, an advocate, exactly as you say, for the wrongly imprisoned. She's halfway through a law degree. She's not quite done yet, but she's become an advocate in this space. She wrote an essay defending the brothers that NBC News published last week. She said she's met them. They're not monsters. They're kind and intelligent men. She wants their sentences reconsidered. She said we should not deny who they are today in their 50s. Physiologically and psychologically, time changes us, and I doubt anyone would claim to be the same person they were at 18. I know I'm not.
No, but at the same time, there's a whole lot of people in prison who are serving sentences for acts they did at that age. You know, if you murder someone at the age of 20, just because you're older and you think, I'm a different person now, doesn't change that.
Yeah, well, this is the other complicating factor with this story is a lot of people are saying, you know, both things can be true. You might have had a horrific childhood with an abusive father and he might have been a monster. You also could have premeditated his murder. Yeah. And you could be serving a life sentence for that as well. So it's this kind of question about whether or not the abuse was handled fairly or sensitively enough in the court at that time. There was a mistrial, a hung jury, a retrial. really, really complicated. The co-creator of the show, Ryan Murphy, who I mentioned, he's defended it. He says that Eric and Lyle Menendez should be thanking him for bringing the case back into the, conversation. The brothers have criticised the show. One has released a statement from prison through his wife saying that it's a complete false character assassination.
So he's got a wife. How did he get a wife?
He would have been married while in prison.
Yes.
There's a whole gaggle of women who are into that stuff.
So that'd be easy. As a woman, you marry a guy that's in jail.
You know where he is every night and he writes love letters to you.
Exactly.
That's required.
A sexy pen
It's the
pal.
same as a Nigerian scam. It's the same thing.
A sexy pen pal.
A sexy pen pal. One is cheaper, I think.
Em, thank you.
Check it out on Netflix, Monsters.
Em Gillespie from the Daily Oz. She's the editor.
Allegedly.
Jonesy and Amanda. Sam Nation.
Podcast.
I want you to get up right now. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Go to your windows, open them, and stick your head out and yell, I am as mad as hell. I'm not going to take this anymore. Bring up the...
On the edge of my seat for the announce of which band is it? It's not UB40. We know they're coming. It's not AC/DC. Which band it is?
It's Oasis.
Oh, well, hang on.
No, but we was embargoed till 8 o'clock, and from the moment it was 8
Look
o'clock,
at you, you've just blabbed that out.
Oh, and not just that. Oasis have been confirmed that they're coming to Australia, and we have tickets. We're going to be giving them away after 8:30 this morning. We've got tickets to Oasis.
You couldn't sit on your treasures? You just wanted to blab that?
Well, everyone else will be blabbing Oasis, but we've got tickets.
Yeah.
We've got tickets to give away after 8:30 this morning.
In the meantime, the pub test today, leaving school in year 10.
Yeah, it seems interesting that more and more kids, or the number has doubled in the past decade, the number of kids who are leaving before year 12. Supporters are saying that's fair enough. Kids can get new career opportunities, etc. But the education experts are saying that if you don't complete year 12, you may have a lifetime of lower earnings and you may not be mature enough to enter the workforce. What do you think? Leaving school in year 10, does it pass the pub test?
No, it doesn't. You can have part-time jobs in conjunction with school. They will regret it in the future. I say please stay till year 12. You will have fun and be educated.
Yeah, because I know people who have left in year 8 and they become multi-millionaires and it didn't affect their life, so leaving at year 10's okay.
A trade should be recognised in the same category as the HSC. They'll go on to become builders and get other professional jobs later on. They might turn to study when they're older and know exactly what they want to do. It's a lot to expect 16, 17-year-olds to know what they want to do for the rest of their lives. Absolutely passes the pub test.
I believe it passes the pub test, yes. Not everybody is good at school and stuff, but they're very good with their hands and doing practical stuff. You know, we can't all be rocket scientists and brain surgeons. Not everyone wants to be that.
Yeah, I wanted to be a rocket scientist and a brain surgeon.
It's a busy day for you.
It is a busy day.
Jam Nation.
You'd be hard-pressed to find someone who hasn't heard of Noni Hazelhurst, from her time educating and entertaining kids on Play School to her many extraordinary roles on stage and on screen. Well, now the Hall of Fame inductee is sharing her life in a new memoir called Dropping the Mask, and she joins us now. Hi, Noni.
Here she is. Look at her.
This has been a stroll through memory lane for me to looking at the photographs to start with, all those extraordinary shows you've been in and all the actors you've starred with. I'm looking at some great photos in here of Colin Friels and Mel Gibson. You were all young and at the beginning of your career. Did you have any sense of all the people you've worked with when you're working with people like that going, yep, you're going to be famous? Or is it all looking back going, wow, who knew?
Certainly Mel, I think, because when we worked together on stage, he had just done Mad Max 1 and the movie Tim, and his good looks were already a thing. And so, yeah, it was clear Mel was going to go on. And also, he already had an American passport, so he was able to kind of go over there. He had the green card all happening and everything, so half American. So, yeah, he was definitely destined for bigger things.
Did you have crushes on them?
No, not on Mel. God, no, he was a doofus. No, he's a dag. He's a funny guy and goofy and, yeah.
Do you see him now? Do you keep in contact or no? It's just...
No, I haven't seen Mel for probably 30 years.
Yeah.
But I know people who are in contact with him, so I sort of hear about him, but no.
It's all part of the alma mater. There was a thing of you it came up on social media of you in Homicide or Division 4 playing an angsty teen at Flinders Street Railway Station. And you did angsty teen very well. You're like a runaway or something like that.
Well, if teens can't do angst, what can they do?
What can they do? That's all you got to do is angst.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's a given. It's a given.
Yeah. I wasn't aware that you were a singer. There's your album is being launched in this. There's a photo of an album being launched and it says Noni Rocks. The album Shout and Whisper.
Yeah.
What part of your career did that happen?
Well, that was in about 1990. ABC Records came and said, do you want to do some albums? And I said, sure. So I chose to do one for kids older than play school age. With music that was not kind of sex and drugs and rock and roll, that it was just rock and roll. So there's a quiet side and a sort of upbeat side. And people are still finding it in op shops. It's wonderful.
It's funny, the record where you had something on one side and something on the other. How novel.
I know. Who would have thought?
I do like, there's a bit about your early days with virginity and things like that. I went in the book.
Oh, in the book. But then on the album.
No, not on that bit. What song was that?
But I do like your 1 to 10 grading of intimacy.
Yes.
So you've got 1 holding hands to 10 all the way, but then in there are 2 arms around, 3 kissing, 4 tongue kissing, 5 upstairs outside, 6. Amanda, you familiar
Was there
with this?
an upstairs inside?
There's an upstairs.
obviously?
That's number 6. Downstairs outside is 7. 8 is downstairs inside.
So what's 9?
And then 9 is half the way, whatever that was.
Yes.
What's that? So that's it. And then you've got all the way. What is half the way?
Well, I don't know. That's why I've said whatever that was in the book. I don't know.
And is this when you talk to your friends and you go, or about other people, they went number 6?
Yes, it was the kind of rumour grade.
Yeah, that's
school,
right.
At the end of high school, yeah.
I think upstairs outside was as far as anything happened for me. Still, funnily enough.
So what's that, 7?
No, upstairs outside is 3.
Oh.
Or is it?
No, you were 5.
5? Well, I feel raunchier than I knew.
You get halfway through the scale, which
Yeah,
is
that's
whatever that
right.
is.
That's right.
Which is pretty good.
Looking back at all the roles you've had, is there one that sticks out? You go, God, I loved that.
Look, Play School, I think, is the one that really formed me the most and gave me the most. But the one-woman show that I've just been doing that was written for me by Daniel Keane called Mother is probably the most challenging thing I've ever done.
And isn't it nice that you can still have roles that still challenge you?
Oh.
At any age, things can still come at you.
Yeah, well, that's life. Things come at you, don't they?
Yeah, that's number 11 on the list.
Yeah, that's right, whatever that is. No, I've been really lucky. But I've also got a low boredom threshold, so I like to constantly do different things and not keep playing the same role over and over. I do that in real life, so I don't need to do it on the screen.
You must have
as well.
lots of people of all ages that say that they've seen you on Play School.
Every day, every single day. It's wonderful. Their kids watched me or they watched me, or I'm now getting what I consider to be old people saying they grew up with me. I go, no, you didn't. Don't lie.
When was the
Stinging
last
that
time
car.
you made something out of toilet roll holders and paddle pop sticks?
I'm not telling you such personal things.
Come on.
That's the next book.
Where's that on the
That's
scale of
number
1?
14.
Noni, it's great to talk to you. The
Thank
book,
you.
Dropping the Mask, is out now. Noni Hazelhurst, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Lovely to be with you.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast.
Coffee?
Coffee. I need coffee. Extra strong.
All I have is tequila and coffee liqueur.
Make it a double.
Bombshell news, Oasis is coming to Australia, and every day this week we've got your tickets. All you have to do is listen to us for your chance to win for Whose Feud Is It Anyway?
Well, we thought, what would we do to give these tickets away? Oasis are famous for their feuds.
Yeah.
For the brothers coming up against each other.
You might have heard the Oasis feuding.
He gets off the ferry after getting deported. I'm left in Amsterdam with my out like a spare wedding. Shut up, shut up, man.
That's nice. And you and I have been known to have our share of feuds.
Yeah.
Give it to me. Give it to me. You stupid man.
So we thought to give these tickets away, we play Whose Feud Is It Anyway?
Yes. Gemma Rye will read a transcript from a feud from either myself and Amanda, or it seems to be pretty much a one-sided thing, Amanda, or Liam and Noel.
Or the Gallagher brothers. And you have to tell us whose feud it is to win the tickets. Give us a call right
13
now.
WSFM is our number. Let's whack on some Oasis.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation podcast.
Shut up, you shut up. You irritate me. Shut up.
And Oasis like to have a feud, and some might say that we like to have a feud, although the feuding seems very one-sided.
Yeah, you're mean to me.
Jonesy and Amanda's Whose Feud Is It Anyway?
Whose feud is it anyway? So, Jen Y. Rye is going to read a transcript of a feud that's taken place. Your job is to tell us whether it's a feud between the Oasis guys, between the Gallagher brothers, or whether it's a feud between Jonesy and I.
You get it right, you win a double pass to Oasis. Rose is in North Kellyville. Hello, Rose.
Good morning, Jonesy and Amanda. How are you?
Great.
Rose, this is very exciting. Are you thrilled that they're coming to town?
Absolutely thrilled, yes.
Well, let's see if we can give you the first tickets in town. Ryan, read a transcript of a feud, please.
Okay, here we go. If he's got a plan, he should get someone to call me. He won't speak to me. I know he won't speak to me. He's a coward.
Yes, correct.
Is that is that Oasis or is it Jonesy and Amanda?
Oasis.
Of course it is.
Yes, it is.
Of course.
If he's got a plan, he should get someone to call. He doesn't have to speak to me. He won't speak to me. I know he won't speak to me. He's a coward.
That's Noel talking about Liam in the most beautiful Christmas way.
You'd never call me a coward. Congratulations to you, Rose. You've won. Oasis is coming to town playing Accor Stadium November 7th, 2025.
Sign
it's
up.
the
Thank you
future.
so much. Sign up now for first access at oasisinet.com. Pre-sale starts Monday, the 14th of October, which is next Monday.
But, Rose, you will be there.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great week.
Fantastic. And we've got tickets to give away all week.
Jonesy and Amanda's Whose Feud Is It Anyway?
There's plenty of feuds to go around.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation.
Podcast.
Everybody shout. Come on now, sing out. It's time for the Ghoulies get together.
$20,000. That's what our favourite ghoulie of the year will get. What have we got?
Hi, Jonesy and Amanda. What gets my ghoulies is people thinking I am just as enamoured with their dog as they are, waxing lyrical on every eccentricity or misadventure, no matter how disinterested and bored I must look. Especially annoying is when 3 or 4 dog owners feel compelled to stop in the middle of the footpath so their fur babies can socialise, blocking the way. Grrr. Dogs are like children of farts. Quite proud of your own, but those of other people are just annoying.
Okay. Have you ever done one and you thought, oh, I'm so proud of that?
No.
A child I'm talking about.
What else have we got?
One thing I really hate is litter bugs. Bring back the campaign, don't be a tosser. Put it in a rubbish bin. And actually, to my point, where are the rubbish bins? They've taken them all. So it's probably why people are tossing rubbish over your fence. That's my ghoulie, fed up.
It's very hard to find a rubbish bin
How do you
these
get a
days.
bin? They've taken the bins away. They're all woke. The bins are woke.
Why have they? But it's not woke reasons. I thought it was for security reasons.
Because it makes people lean into the radio as soon as you say woke.
Don't be that person.
But yeah, I don't know why. I tisk at some teens the other day because I picked some
what?
bottles. Tisks. Because there was a bunch of Summersby cider bottles thrown on the beach. So I picked them up as I was walking up after a surf.
People thought they were yours.
Yeah. I was tisking someone's drinking Summersby cider. But yeah, just pick your stuff up.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jem Y. Rye, I know that's the drink of the old millennia.
I love cider.
Yeah, of course you do.
What else? Oh, no, nothing else.
There's nothing
Thank
else.
goodness there's nothing else.
Nothing else. Out with the bad and with the good, you better contact us via the iHeart Radio app. You could win $20,000. It's 6 to 9.
Our favourite caller, email, or Facebook friend wins a big day out package to Cable's Wake and Aqua Park in Penrith, the most fun you can have in and on the water.
And Jonesy and Amanda Tea-Towel and Keyring coming your way as well.
Today we were talking about Lost in Translation. This came because I saw a TikTok of a student nurse who thought she'd heard this.
He said, "Nurse, are my testicles black?"
She checked them for him and said, no, they're fine. Whereas, in fact, he'd said this.
"Are my test results back?"
Best day he'd had in a long time.
The tribal drum was beating for Lost in Translation. Here's Donna from Wollongong.
I was in the supermarket one day and I was in the cheese section and this lady walked past with her daughter, and what I thought she said was my name, which was Donna Potter at the time. I said, do you know me? And she said, no. And I said, well, you must do. I said, you just said my name. And she said, no, I don't know you. And I said, I'm sure I know your face. And she said, no, I don't think I do. And I said, well, how come you just said my name? And I said, her daughter's looking at her and I'm looking at her and we're having this conversation. She said, no, I was just telling my daughter that there's some blue ricotta. And I said, I thought you said my name. There's John Pocker.
Oh, how embarrassing.
Weirdo on aisle 3.
Righto, you two. That's enough.
Don't forget to listen out for I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston. That'll be played sometime today before 6 p.m.
And you know...
it's worth $2,000.
Because...
I wish we'd spent that $2,000 on our production. So someone's going to win $2,000.
We'll be back from 6 tonight for Jam Nation.
See you then.
Good day to you.
Well, thank God that's over. Goodbye. Goodbye. Wipe the tears, baby, from your eyes.
Catch Jonesy and Amanda's podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation podcast. Catch up on what you've missed on the free iHeartRadio app.